through now, but obviously you still have to abide by the social distancing rules, don't you, to protect yourself and those around you. So I'm hoping that by the end of this year we'll see the end of it. Fingers crossed, anyway.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give somebody then, Swaley, who would like to embark down the pathway in the acting and TV and film industry?
Well, I would definitely, recommend getting some good training. It doesn't necessarily have to be the big top name schools. I mean, not everybody's fortunate enough to be able to go to Sylvia Young's or Anna Shearer's, Lambda. But I've known people to go to local little unheard of drama groups, become very, very good actors. I think if you're passionate enough for it and you really love acting and love movies and love being creative and performing, that you can do well no matter where you go. Some people have got it in their head that, oh, if I go to the big top RADA and all this, I'll be great. Well, not necessarily. So to answer your question anyhow, I would strongly suggest training. I meet a lot of people that think that you can just be an actor, yeah, I'm great, and when it comes down to actually working, they realise just what goes into it, that they've had no training, yet they call themselves professional actors. But the advice I would give is just go out there and, get the training and show respect for the industry by doing that. I mean, I wouldn't show up on a building site and say, well, I want to go and build that wall because I know I can do it, when I've never had any experience. And I think that's the same with this industry, not knocking anybody that, is trying to give it a go without any training. Good luck to. But you definitely just get some kind of training. If amateur dramatics, your local theatre, it's not, doesn't cost a fortune to do, and it really will benefit them because it shows as well on their CVs that they take it seriously, and it's not just a phase they're going through where they want to be rich and famous like so many people just want this phase without putting any work into it.
Yes, I mean, like anything, you always have to start at the bottom, and it's all about discipline and perseverance, never giving up, but also experience as well. And when you put in that time, that energy, the end results are phenomenal. You don't know until you actually try. But acting, anyone can give it a go. And I think it really does help those that maybe go through bullying as well, because people lose their confidence and self-esteem if they go through bullying. And if you start acting and stepping into a different role, you learn to actually deal with it as well, because you're stepping into a completely different character. And it will actually boost your confidence and your self-worth and self-esteem as well. Because you're thinking, right, well, I'll step into a different sort of role and then I'll stand up for myself. So I think they should maybe introduce that a lot more into the schools personally. When children are getting bullied, they need to sort of persuade them to embark down that sort of scenarios of acting and think, right, okay, one play the bully and the other one play the victim, and how they feel, and then step into that role where you actually find that inner strength and confidence stand up to that bully. So it's role playing, isn't it? Yeah. So you never know, in schools they might start doing it and introducing it. I think it'd be a fantastic idea. So if anyone's listening to me today that would maybe like to take on that idea, please feel free.
I would recommend a group, the Lightning Drama Group in Romford in the Mercury Mall, that's very good, very reasonably priced, and some of their students go on to do all sorts of wonderful things. I would always recommend starting off in the theatre. I did, doing several plays, end of year productions with Lambda and amateur dramatics with the Wellington Theatre Group through Sylvia Young, and it really does prepare you for acting in front of the camera, I believe. You have to tone it down a bit because theatrical acting is a lot more over the top. But if you can act and you can remember your dialogue and the whole of the play in front of a live audience, when it comes to having a camera in front of you, it's compared to doing live, it's a walk in the park, I believe. Well, it certainly was for me, but so say a bit, get into the theatre. My daughter, that's nearly 4, starts at the Lightning Drama Group in November, acting and dancing and singing. So, yeah.
That's really cute, isn't it? I mean, the difference, obviously, when you are on a TV or film set, and unless it's actually live and it's recorded, you can obviously, you know, start again. But when you're actually live in musical theatre, which we've both done, if you mess up, you just got to keep going. Or if you're singing a song live on that stage and you forget the words, you just got to keep going regardless as well. That is the difference between the two, isn't it? So again, it does take a lot of confidence to get up on that stage in front of everyone that's looking at you, because it can be a bit daunting, can't it? But again, when you're stepping into character, it's like you're not you, because you're that person that you're stepping into character and aspire to act to be like.
Yeah, exactly. You find, I mean, I was a nervous wreck the first one I did. I was like, I just peeked through the curtain and I'm like,
yeah.
Totally, and you've just got to remember, you know, that that if you're doing what you love, it's, you know, you've really got to appreciate that, because it's not easy to get work in this industry. And secondly, you've got to, you know, when you're referring to keeping your feet on the ground, you've got to remember that it is just a job. I really have struggled to get my head around it when I see people that really think they're something special because they're good at acting, because they've worked on it. It's like, it is a job. You're no better than the guy that's wheeling the trolleys at Tesco's. We're all doing jobs, and you know, you become good at your job. So you must, 100% keep your feet on the ground. That's for sure, because if you start getting carried away and believing all the hype and everything yourself, then I just don't think it leads to anywhere good, you know.
No, it doesn't, because in the end it leads to sadness, doesn't it? Like you say, you know, so it's really important to keep your feet on the ground, keep your ego in check, and just try your best, just believe well. Because, you know, you enjoy the experience, you never know what you're going to achieve at the end of it, or who you're going to meet along the way, or what door's going to open, but also you make some really good friends on film sets, and also with the production team as well. I mean, I've met some wonderful people, and I've been really humbled and blessed to actually meet them, and we all support each other. And I'm sure that you have, Swaley, and a lot of people that work with you, you know, you've actually maybe met on film set and now they're part of your team. So it's all about teamwork.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, most of my friends are in the industry, you know. It sort of feels weird now if I'm out with a friend that's not talking about something to do with the industry. It's quite funny, but you just meet so many different personalities, and it's great, really. You know, some good, some not so good. But majority of people I've had the pleasure of working with, I've enjoyed it, and we've remained friends. Didn't like it. So yeah, just really proud of that particular film, you know.
So with regards to the actual film, for those that haven't watched it, please could you tell our viewers a little bit about the storyline and how you came about writing it in the first place?
Yes, it wasn't me that wrote that. It was Paul Gardner and Alan Colgrave. Alan's from Pinnergate. We've worked together in the past on about 6 short films, and I always liked his writing. So we got together with Paul and they came up with a story, and what I liked about it is the twist in it, which I obviously can't really talk about because it gives the story away, but there is a twist in it, and it's intense drama about various different people's relationships, a dysfunctional couple, and various other little stories all thrown in there. And I thought, when I watched it, when I was directing it, I thought, I want to try and get this like a docudrama, like a fly-on-the-wall docudrama. So people are not quite sure whether this is a film, or it's like something like Towie. I wanted to try and get an in between that, which I think we pulled off pretty well. We were then lucky enough to have Minouche Capital involved with, although she played a small role in the film, but then she helped us out with a soundtrack, and her voice is amazing. It's just, in my opinion, it made the film come to life. we had Christian Davidson help out with the musical score on the film. Jeff Burgess and David Cheshire, an amazing job of the editing, and it was just, we just got so lucky with this, and anybody that does watch it, they're not going to expect the twist that comes at the end. And I've had a few people contact, or Lee's had people contact him, and people have messaged me that have bought the film on Vimeo on demand and Amazon, and they've said, you've got to do a sequel. I said, well, I'm not sure about this, because there's a lot of other things that I've got to do. But they said, look, just we need to see where these characters are going next. And I thought that was just so nice, that people genuinely care about the characters in this film and they want to see a sequel. I'm like, wow, I did not expect it, you know. I started off playing, I think I was meant to be in 4 scenes in the film, and then there were rewrites. It was like, we want to take this character, right, fine, okay. Then I got asked to direct it. I directed short films and some amateur plays in the past, but never a feature. And I'm like, I'll give it a go for you guys. And yeah, to have the feedback, you know, some of the lovely reviews on IMDb and the reviews on Amazon, people that have watched the film, and the majority of them are very positive, and it's, you know, it choked me up actually when I read some of them. I'm like, wow, because I don't do something and think to myself, wow, that's great. You know, I look at myself in a scene and I'm like, oh gosh, you just look at, you know, I could do with maybe losing a little bit of weight, or I could do with sort of working on that sort of style of acting, or I never watch and go, well, you look great, well, you're a great actor, ever. And I think anybody that does is a little bit bizarre. But,
yes. I think being self-critical is okay, as long as you're not overly self-critical to the extent where you're trying to be perfectionist, because no one's a perfectionist at the end of the day, are they? No one's perfect. So, you know, it's constructive criticism for yourself, isn't it? You know, room for improvement, again, like I said earlier. Can I improve it, you know, in sort of doing it this way, or trying it a different way as well, in order for you to be fully happy with the role that you're actually playing too.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, sort of, you know, being comfortable in your own skin, and really getting, you know, I mean, I studied a lot of method acting, which I never I remember, I was one of these, when somebody first told me all about it, the Actors Centre, I'm like, oh yeah, well, all this meditating and really getting into the character and not wanting people to call you by your real name on set, and even on your off days. It's a bit mad. But then I saw a different side to it, and I thought, you know, I want to give this a go, and I really want to get into the skin of the characters. And I totally, after doing some Meisner training at the Barking and Dagenham College, I just did a 10-week course in Meisner, Stanford Meisner, which is the art of method acting. And I just loved it, and I thought, you really, really enjoy playing a character more when you're playing it as a method actor and really believing you're that. And so, you know, I'm now one of these people that would advise anyone to do some method training. When at the start I thought it was all a bit ludicrous, but it just goes to show you, until you try something, you shouldn't really judge it, should you, you know?
No, you shouldn't. And you've also recently been in a music video. I mean, I've been talking with Moino about doing some music videos for my latest song releases, but you've also been in one just recently with Jay Keats. And I noticed on Facebook someone said he's your brother. Is that just, you know, a brother from a different mother or something, as you guys tend to like say it? Or is he truly your brother?
He's truly my brother.
Oh, is he really? Oh, wow, I didn't realise that. Did you ask me this music video? Because he found this on Facebook. I didn't realise he was your brother. I saw you in the actual acting scene of It's Reckless, isn't it, the music video? Wow, so it must be wonderful having your brother that's a singer and doing the rapping, and you doing like the sort of movie production and directing. So have you thought about maybe getting him involved in a project, maybe doing a bit of rapping?
Yes, we've worked together a few times. He also attended Sylvia Young, my brother. We're you know, I'm one of 6 children. It's myself, then James, who's Jay Keys, Sonny, Shane, and Shannon and Sinead, my 2 younger sisters. And it's funny that the others have got no interest at all in anything to do with the arts, but me and James, you know, we love it, and to be in, for him to ask me to be in his video was lovely. Doing my project, he plays a small role actually in Mother's Child as one of the main character who I play, John Barrett, one of his workmen, a character called Cliff. So yeah, he enjoyed that, working in a scene with Alex Reid, and we've done some shorts. But his real passion is music, and a few people have gone, when you keep referring to him as your brother, is it like the whole, yeah, it's your brother?
We're the same.
Brother. IMDb, James Lock name. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Because Daniel Egan was actually in the music video as well. Because I've been on film set with Daniel quite a few times with different projects. And I saw him looking cool, you know, in the actual videos or dancing a bit. It's quite cool.
Yeah, Daniel loved it. We filmed that up in West Whittington, and it was a beautiful sunny day. And you know, when looking at that video, you'd have thought we were in Spain or Miami or something. It was just, it didn't look like a beach in the UK. And yeah, I loved that experience, and it was such the high production value there. I mean, he had the several drones, as you probably noticed, for the drone shots, and it was, yeah, I was blown away by it, and that was actually one of his videos that I'm in.
I mean, have you thought about coming down to Dorset? Because we've got some wonderful beaches here. You know, we've got Studlands, we've got Sandbanks, we've got Bournemouth Beach as well. You know, we've got lots of harbours there. So maybe you could come down to Dorset and do some filming, and then I can come on film set with you and do some acting.
Absolutely. I know Paul Gardner, who co-wrote Mother's Child and also acts. He's got family in Dorset actually, and he did suggest, you know, maybe shooting some scenes for some of the up-and-coming projects we're doing with Pinnergate Productions.
Yes, and looking at Netflix, we've got Lulworth Cove as well here, and it's a beautiful location for filming, Lulworth Cove. We've actually got the castle here as well.
Yeah,
we've got Court Castle ruins.
Absolutely, it'd be great to do some work, you know, outside of Essex. I mean, the majority of the stuff we do is normally East London, Essex, Brentwood, Basildon, all over. And it's just been nice to sort of venture out a little bit further. I mean, every project I seem to do is, you know, like the films I did last year, all Essex based, which is fine, but sometimes it's nice for a change of location. You know, it's always fun to sort of do the whole Warner Brothers Pinewood shoots, because it's nice to get out that way. But I think Dorset will definitely be on the cards. You may be seeing some shots of places you recognise in some of our upcoming productions over the next few years.
I could actually help you there, obviously coming from the area anyway myself, or living here, so I could actually help you with that. So what are your plans for the future, Swaley? Where would you like to see yourself in a year's time, for instance?
Well, I would like to just, you know, make a comfortable living. I mean, I do okay, although acting is not my sole income. I mean, I run my own business, so I'm still not in a position where I'm making a good living or a comfortable-ish living from acting. Obviously making a lot of low-budget stuff, acting a lot of low-budget stuff. Some jobs are very well paid. You get the odd commercials, $6,000 for the day, but they don't come along that often.
No, they don't today.
I did a casting for Hollyoaks with I've got a lovely agent, one of the finest agents in London, and he put me up. I was literally with him for 2 weeks, and he put me up for a regular on Hollyoaks. And I thought, something like that, you know, to get paid for doing something I love and that regular work, that would be great. One of my friends, Amar, who I've worked with, Amar Adesha, that's a filmmaker and actor, he's recently landed a role in EastEnders, and he seems very happy.
That's fantastic.
So something like that. I mean, I know that they want to put me up for the likes of EastEnders, Hollyoaks, which I've already gone up for. I was a little bit too, I went into a little bit too aggressive for the character they wanted. It was full blown. They were like, you're a little bit too scary here, you know, but you were great. So I'm like, right, thanks for the feedback, but the Hollyoaks didn't happen. But, you know, something like EastEnders, I think I'd be very content if I got role.
I think it'd be brilliant in there. I mean, my dream is to be in a period drama, because I love that era. I do a lot of period drama photo shoots with my lovely friend Steve Knight, and his wife Julia does all the amazing designs. She makes the costumes. So if any producers or directors are listening to me and there's any jobs going in, any TV dramas, please bear me in mind. And also any producers for EastEnders, please sway your mind as well, because you never know who's watching the show, do you?
No, and I appreciate that. And it's funny you should mention Steve Knight. He is a wonderful photographer. I met on the Crackers back in 2018, a comedy that we did with Rennie Costa. Something I enjoyed doing very much, actually. And yeah, I met Steve there. He was doing all the photography, and he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met, you know. I really like him.
He's so lovely. I've been on the film set with him many times, and I actually met Rennie when we was on free mobile Christmas adverts going back in 2017, and I met his lovely wife Gillian as well. And they're both amazing actors, aren't they? So they've both been working quite a lot with you, haven't they? Some of your film sets, and then the practice you was in that.
I worked with. I was very grateful when Rennie casted me in the Crackers in 2018, and I really enjoyed that, and you know, meeting his lovely wife. And since then we've been out. I went to the premiere of a film he did called Bone, so we had a lovely afternoon out and a nice meal and a few pints, and then we went back, you know, and had a drink with Gillian, and then we worked on Memoirs of a Dying Man that he did, that can be seen on YouTube at the moment, and it's doing quite well in the festivals. When I saw the finished product, I loved it, and I've got a lot of respect for the guy. I think he's very talented, very good writer, very good director, and a lovely actor. And I'm pleased to call him and his wife friends of mine, you know?
Yes. I hope to interview actually Rennie leading up to Christmas, because I'm quite busy with the interviews now right until October, so I will be contacting Rennie to interview him as well. So what advice would you give to somebody that obviously they want to go down the acting route, but they're looking for a reputable casting agent as well, because it's always good to ask about, to go with those that are reputable, that you know, that other people belong to as well, you know, rather than sort of go down the pathway of the wrong casting agent. So I think getting the right casting agent is so important for you as an actor, and also, you know, an artist.
Yeah, I think it's a vicious circle at the start. You cannot get a good agent without a good CV. You can't get a good CV without a good agent. I was stuck there for a while. So what I did was I just did as much as I could. I thought, sorry, I joined up with Ray Knight in 2020, although I was doing stuff through the Young'uns agency in Rossmore, Sylvia Young. So I also joined Ray Knight, and I started doing walk-on stuff, the odd line here, the odd line there. I was in EastEnders in 2000, having a pick a fight with Billy Mitchell. I was in The Bill, mugging a woman with a small bit of dialogue. So I built it up from you know, the bottom rung of the ladder, and little bit parts, they got bigger and bigger. So then once I started getting something half decent on a CV and using whatever material I had, at the time I'd get a friend to record me with a camcorder, and then it'd be put onto a VHS tape back in early 2000s, and that would be sent to an agent with a CV and several knockbacks. You know, come back when you've got more experience, come back when you've got your equity card. But I couldn't get my equity card without, I think at the time it was 4 contracts for professionally paid speaking roles, which I believe is similar now for Spotlight, which I went straight on to Spotlight because I was a child actor on Spotlight. But I do understand now that several people are struggling to get on there because of how fussy they are. Well, it was the same back over 20 years ago with equity. And at the time, it was a lot more of a bigger deal. It was like, well, you need your equity card. So I went through several different agents that were okay, but they had like 400 people on their books, and you'd ring them up and they'd go, who is it? You go, well, it's me. Oh yeah, that's right. And well, there's nothing this week. So, there's a lot of times where I felt like throwing the towel in and going, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. But, I kept with it, and gradually through networking and a lot to do with luck as well, being cast in several things that impressed the right agents. So it's just a case of jumping in there, doing as much as you can, trying to do quality stuff. Unfortunately, there's stuff that's going to be unpaid, but I had to do that in order to get the paid stuff. I'm still doing things unpaid, not everything, but some things, because that's where I may have something great, like to show a really good agent, which what I did, and they took me on. So without doing the unpaid one, I wouldn't have got the good agent. So just try and build up a body of work. Networking is a big thing in the industry. Be professional, show up on time. Just try and do the best you can, and just try and ignore negative criticism, and staying positive. Yeah. And if you are not confident in certain areas, then work on that. That's, I went to an audition to play in America before I did the 3 American jobs I've done, where I sounded like ridiculous. I tried to do a New York accent, and they went, do yourself a favour, mate, go back home and work on that. So I just watched American films, American movies. I'd pause it, I'd listen to the actor, then take it back, and so on, and just keep on until I got it perfect. And the next time I went to an audition for an American, I knew that I was going to, blow them away, which is how you want to feel when you go into an audition,
And you also had the experience as well. I mean, I remember being on a casting myself for Tuesday's Child, and it was going back a few years ago now for the World Cup. It was a Gala Bingo advert, and there was a production team there, and they wanted me literally to sort of run around as if I was an aeroplane and skid on my knees. And I had them in fits of laughter. I was laughing my head off myself. I think they loved it so much they got me to do it 5 times. And it wasn't until I was actually on the train on the way back from London, they did actually ring up the casting agent saying that I was shortlisted down to the last 2. But unfortunately, I didn't get it because they gave it to a young lady who's done a lot of other things with them. So I was a bit gutted, really. But it was a good experience because you can have a giggle, can't you, when you're doing these auditions as well. And I think the good thing is to laugh at yourself. And not take yourself too seriously and get it wrong, because if you do, then you sort of get disheartened and you think, I'm not bothering anymore, and you do have to persevere in this industry and not give up. It's really important that you keep going because eventually you will get where you want to be, hopefully. But enjoy the experience that you have along the way and the wonderful people you meet.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying, you must always be as professional as you can, but at the same time, not take it too seriously in the sense where you then take yourself seriously. I think, I've been to auditions and had to do some ridiculous things, one of the last castings I went on for a commercial was to just be shoving crisps in my mouth and coughing, and then laughing, and then coughing and choking. And I felt ridiculous. I think you've got to just think, sod it. Who cares? If you go in there, trying to take it, you've just got to think, sod it. And whatever they want to do, I've never turned any castings down. I just go in there now and think, I'm going to make a fool of myself. I know I can't dance to save my life, but I've been to auditions where they've wanted someone that was like an okay-ish dancer, and I've just gone for it and got the job.
So you never know, do you? If you don't try, you'll never know.
Exactly. You've just got to you got to think, you know, I'm in this business. I, you know, let's just go for it and try. You know, if I want you to make that. I had one where they wanted me to turn into like a werewolf / dog and start barking and screaming, and I thought, wow, there's a really attractive sort of casting women there, casting directors, and they're like, and I'm like, wow, I come in trying to be the cool guy, and now I've got to do this, and there was no real warning, and I'm like, you know what? I said, wait there a minute. I went and messed up all my hair and everything, and made myself look a bit of a state, pulled my shirt out, and just went in there and went for it. And they were like, wow, you really don't give a damn. And I'm like, no, you can't, you know. Yeah, it's all about enjoying the journey. It's got to be fun. You took it so seriously, you'd end up having a nervous breakdown. I would have done right now. Yeah.
But like you say, it is all about fun along the way, because with that Gala Big advert, I was meant to have won like £100,000, and I was jumping up and down screaming, you know, be really excited about winning £100,000, but the young lady got the casting, she wasn't very excited at all, and I thought, gosh, it was a bit disappointed when I saw the actual advert, because I was like jumping up and down really excited. But again, it's you know, it's all about the process of change, and sometimes you will get rejected, but just enjoy it regardless. You know,
absolutely. Fun, isn't it? 9 times out of 10 you're going to be rejected. That's called an aspiring actor, you know, who can say that you could talk to Tom Cruise and he would tell you stories about that. Brad Pitt, you know, everybody's been through it. You're going to get 1% of the, unless you're very, very lucky. I mean, I believe a lot to do with whenever I speak to successful actors, there's always that I got lucky here, or I was in the right place at the right time. Yeah, some of the stuff, the stuff I've done, it was just, I'd be there. I was there on a film set for a feature film, and I went along with a friend one day, and they said, we like the look of you. Do you want to do some dialogue in a scene? And I went, yeah, definitely. And I did, and that led to then another speaking role. So it was right place at the right time, you know. I mean, yes. I find that, you know, luck plays a part in it. It really does to a certain extent, you know.
And synchronicity, I do believe in fate and synchronicity events as well. Because I mean, if I hadn't been on that London Heist gangster movie with Rennie and Gillian and my best friend Tracy, we wouldn't have been in the free mobile Christmas adverts going back in 2018, I think it was. And that was, you know, obviously the same production company were filming that, which was Fullwell 73. So I was really blessed, and I, you know, sang in the choir, and we had great fun. It was a wonderful experience, and we enjoyed the parties with people.
Yeah, it's funny how things, you know, they can pop into place and fate plays a part, a role. Yeah, it's like I've met people on other sets, and we've gone off and worked together. Like for Mother's Child, there's a few guys there that came along to play barman and whatnot, and then we've ended up hitting it off as friends, and they're now playing roles in the next short film, you know. So yeah, definitely the networking. I mean, my phone before I got seriously into acting again, I probably had about 30 contacts. Because of acting, working in the industry, I probably got over 500, and it's like, wow. And I'm not going out trying to make new friends. It's just you make so many different people throughout the year on so many different sets, and it's great, you know. I really enjoy that side of it, you know. It's like a perk of the job, you know.
Yes, and networking as well. So how can our viewers get in contact with you, Sway, if they'd like to maybe, you know, sort of audition to be in one of your future movie roles, or would like to maybe book you for one of their movie roles? How can they get in contact with you?
Well, you know, anybody can get in contact with me on social media. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. Just type the name in. Facebook, I've got my acting page. I've got my website. The details of my website are on my Twitter and Instagram. You could, you know, my email address is also on there. They can email me. So yeah, just if you need to contact me, if you're interested in working with me on something, you want to send me a script to read, All the information and my details are on IMDb, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So yeah, you can get in contact with me, no problem.
Oh, well, thank you so much for talking to us today, and good luck with your future plans. And I look forward to being on a film set with you again in the future, maybe in Dorset.
Absolutely. When we do Dorset, there is no way I'm coming up there without getting you involved. So you will be
fantastic.
welcome.
And I can sing too. Oh, bless you. Well, thank you so much. It's been so lovely talking to you today.
You too. It was a pleasure. Thank you, and you enjoy the rest of the day. And thanks for listening, everybody. And I hope I didn't miss anyone out that I said that I'd mentioned. So.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for each and every one of you as well for tuning in today. And we will be back again next week, but we'll be back on Thursday at 12 p.m. And I'm going to be interviewing the lovely Simon C. Brown and his lovely talented son too, Liam Brown. And we're going to be talking about Panache Global Entertainment Awards, which I'm really excited about, and Princess Peace too. So that's going to be next Thursday at 12 o'clock. So wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.
If that was your intention, for me to catch Mandy out doing some sort of lewd lesbian act, or whatever it is everybody's telling me she's getting up to these days, but then what makes you think I'd even see her in here anyway? I mean, is this even a gay night? I know they do gay nights in here, but is it gay night tonight?
I've had it all on my mind. It's been one of those nights again. I had one too many drinks last night. I passed out.
What's it got to do with you? That when she told you she was pregnant, you went mad? I did. At the end of the day, the business has never been going so well. Things are really picking up. I'm going to take it to the next level, this company, and I can't do that if I'm sitting at home starting a family, can I? Well, basically what I'm looking for is a scrubber.
A scrubber?
Somebody that's prepared to get dirty, yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Get down on your knees.
A divorce? I would jump in front of a train for her. I love her to bits. No, I don't want to. Are you seriously asking me to divorce the love of my life? Your daughter? I mean...
You're lost for words, aren't you?
Yeah.
I thought good businessmen could bullshit anything.
I didn't mean anything.
So you don't fancy me then?
I think you're very nice. I think, regards to the club, I'm going to give that one a miss. Cool. But you have a good time, and don't worry, I'll look after you. Let me just grab my tape measure out of the motor. Cool. And I'll sort this out for you,
Sweet.
Tommy. All right, mate?
You take care. Thanks a lot, mate.
All right.
Thank you. Cheers.
You have got to be the best looking bird I've set my eyes on in about 2 or 3 years.
I bet you said it to all the women.
Oh yeah, no, I mean no.
Wake up. Wake up.
What?
Do you realise it's our 40-day anniversary? 40 days together. Feels like yesterday, huh?
Well, how time's flying.
And you still don't talk about her much?
I prefer to forget her. I wish we'd never met up.
You must have loved her to get married.
She was an achiever, driven. We met at university. As soon
soon as the course finished, we sort of drifted apart on our own ways. It must have been 5 years before we met up again.
In a romantic location, no doubt.
Hardly. It was a seminar for the clothing industry.
You don't look the designer type.
I wasn't. I used to buy end-of-the-line stuff from the British market and sell it to places like India.
Really?
Yeah. We just reconnected, I guess. Got married a few months later and merged our companies. Much to my regret.
So, how long were you together?
A little under 2 years. We both travelled a lot, but a lot of our travels were like pleasure rather than business.
Yeah, you don't have to say anymore. I know.
So how about you? I mean, I have a reason for forgetting my previous life, but you've not told me anything about your love life.
Nothing to say, really. After university, I moved in with Swenson. He was Danish, but we parted 6 weeks later. I mean, he was just boring. Like, this boring.
No, it's not. So how did you become this free spirit?
I guess I wasn't happy. I was just so tired of my father's diplomatic lifestyle. I was so protected. I guess I wanted to rebel, just do something for myself. And then I met a group of artists at a music festival, and they had a completely different view of life. And they were all so happy.
It's from my ex-wife's accountants. They want me to meet in town today. Just do it. You need to do it now.
Just a couple of more minutes.
Now! You can't put it off any longer.
What about the text?
No. Phone.
Phones are alright, but texts are just as good.
Sometimes. But on this occasion, you must phone.
Where is the number?
Surely you know it.
Here it is. Here it goes.
At last!
Can I have sweet and sour chicken, beef and black bean sauce, 2 fried rice, hot and sour soup, please? Thank you.
Picked up some nice bag butts today. Pleased with that. Hello, Simon. How you doing, mate? All right. Hello, Paul. How you doing, mate? All right.
What is it with you, Daniel? Coming along here on an old mobility scooter. I mean, you're not 70 years old. Your legs are fine. Why are you always riding these old scooters around?
That's because it's easier to pick up the bag butts off the ground, mate.
Oh, yeah, but sit down and have a fucking beer with me, will you?
All right.
How you been anyway, alright?
Yeah, I've been keeping well. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. It's a White Star refreshing cider. Now, these should be 99 pence, but because I drink 12 or 13 of them a day, they do them for me for 89 pence. And you know what? It's not hurt me none of it. All it's done to me is cost me my liver, but apart from that, I'm all good to go. So that's for you.
I love cider. Thank you very much, mate.
I want you to join the club and be a happy man like me. And what you got there in the bag, Daniel?
This is the jackpot. We've hit the jackpot. The best bag butts in Romford, my friend.
Yes, you're a good grafter.
Look at that.
Whoa, I feel like it's Christmas morning. I've got a lovely little surprise for you. Right there in the bedroom. A nice little stripper.
That's what you spend your money on, mate.
Would you like to come in and say hi to me, mate? Daniel! Oh, Daniel,
she's
look.
a bit of alright, Swanee.
Look at the nice big
Hello,
tip.
darling.
It's a nice bit of strawberry tart, isn't it? Why don't you come and sit yourself down on old Danny boy's lap here?
Cheeky.
Oh, that's a sexy woman. I do love her.
Oh, she's lovely, mate.
Do you know,
Lovely.
Hey, Tony, you haven't finished me off yet.
You have got to finish him off. Won't be a minute. Well, looks like you two, lovely. Gonna have to finish yourself off for a couple of minutes and I'll be back.
Oh, she's a,
I've got a job to do.
she's a proper mate, she's
There's someone in the back here. Charlie, check the back, will you? Do you want to jump out, mate? Jump out the vehicle, please.
Oh, come on, mate, out you come.
Been in trouble with the police before?
Don't grab me like that.
Got anything on you shouldn't have?
Don't grab me like that. Well, I'm not grabbing or anything. Just step around the side.
How's gone to the shop, is he?
Let's just put up against the car.
Search him, will you?
Charlie. You know, but same scenario every single day, man. I don't get a break with you lot.
Homer who? Homer sexual. Wait 1 second, let me check. Homosexual? Come on, one of you guys has gotta be homosexual.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
You look like a blueberry.
Why don't you go back to your home on Whore Island?
Well, you have bad hair.
What did you say?
I said, your hair looks stupid.